It's double XL men time, and here we are, the series finale. Well, first season at least. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, VHS Jason, and of course, next to me is the great Jason Roy Gaston,
The other one of your hosts. Hello.
the other one of your hosts. And it went like this whole season, didn't it?
It
Boom, we're done.
did. It was quick, it was fast, and it was satisfying.
Yeah, and it was. And I think that's a good summation for the entire series, not just this episode. If you think the ground they covered in this first season in the way of story and character development, it's a really an achievement just on those two things alone.
Yes, indeed. This has been a triumph. And I actually have some issues with this finale,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, the series has been fantastic. As I said, it is the best thing that Marvel has done on TV, period.
Mm. Mm.
And that's saying something considering how good the last season of Loki was
Mm.
and how good WandaVision was.
Mhm.
This is the best.
I don't know if I agreed highly with that summation, but I think this final episode, well, it stuck the landing, for the use of a better term. Yeah, it really did. It really gave itself, it amped everything up, it tied everything together. Excuse me.
Oh goodness.
I'm so overwhelmed
Sorry.
with this episode.
That's my mutant power.
Yes, by mutant power. And that's really what you're getting to is the highlight of the episode to me is everything with Magneto and Professor X.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed the most was that kind of relationship. The punchy explosion stuff. Yeah, that's great. But it really, the heart of those two, that relationship really kind of sold it for me. The villain, maybe it was a bit too over the top villainy in the end, but really it was a good payoff.
I love the villain.
Mm.
I love the villain. I'm looking for the voice actor right now, and I cannot
Mm.
remember his name. But I saw it
Did a
earlier, and
great
I
job.
can't remember. Fantastic voice actor. I thought that he was chilling and just he was one of those bad guys who, if somebody jumps out from behind a tree and says, "I'm gonna kill you," you just be kind of like, "Oh, whatever. Here's $1. Go away." But whenever a bad guy comes up to you and just puts their mouth right next to your ear and says, "I'm gonna kill you," I believe them. That's Bastian right there. I believe him.
I think what the really most interesting thing about Bastian for me is the fact that it's a very fine line. If one decision was made another way, he would have been an original X-Men.
Yes,
If a
I
choice
thought
was
that was very
made,
cool.
yeah, and that very thin veneer of being either a hero or a villain, which also plays out in Magneto as well, is one of the strengths of the X-Men. And as we see, they flip sometimes side to side, a la Rogue's journey this season.
Yeah, Theo James, by the way, that's the actor's name.
Theo James.
So
Yeah,
yes,
fantastic job.
fantastic job. Kind of remind me of oh my gosh, Jimmy Simpson, I think is his name. Kind of that very low, gravelly,
Yeah.
calm voice that just tells you that they're waiting to take apart your insides and chop them into a fine couscous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I enjoyed the parallels
Yeah.
between all of these characters. I enjoyed their journeys. Um, my one huge criticism
Yeah.
is that I felt like it was a little too shiny happy people at the end, considering everything that had come before. Because Rogue and Sunspot turned their back on the X-Men and went with Magneto, and it seemed like there was no consequences for that.
Yeah. No
It was
repercussions,
just
was
it
there?
was they cut away, they came back. Rogue is once again with the team. Sunspot and Jubilee are together, and there's no consequences, and it just seems like there has been so much fallout from so many decisions that have been made this season
Mm.
that felt jarring,
Mm.
extremely jarring. My
Um.
second major
Mm.
criticism: the Phoenix Force should not have been in this episode because it felt like a It felt like a Deus Ex Machina. It felt like we can't figure out how to get out of this Phoenix Force. And of course, it's like, I am the Phoenix. I am powerful. I can solve all the problems. Oh, the Phoenix has left me.
Yeah. And in my memory, the Phoenix is something normally you control. So, and that felt very controlled. My big beef was the comical way they dealt with Mr. Sinister at the end. Like, where they suck out his DNA and he goes, "Oh, show me what I look like." Oh
my gosh. It was like a teenage girl running out of prom when somebody says she's too fat.
Yeah.
I was laughing at that. I thought that was
did
funny.
laugh, but I don't think it's probably the character deserves a bit more of that.
You're all so mean to me.
But besides that, I mean, it's not. I think what I've figured out with this whole season, it's not about the ending, whether the show was amazing or not. It's really everything else. It's the whole meal, I would not say this finale is the strongest episode of the season, but certainly is a good bookend to this first season, and obviously setting up the future too, which is the big thing, setting up the future. And how do you feel about that? Obviously spoilers, guys. If you haven't seen it, we're about to get into some really heavy spoiler territory.
Well, they pretty much confirmed that Apocalypse is looking for more horsemen. And the door has been opened for the return of a character that I said I didn't want to see come back. And I don't know how to feel about it yet. Wait and see. We can wait and see how that turns out. But at the same time, I'm just wondering, who are the other horsemen going to be? I'm thinking Archangel, because if you noticed on the poster at the end, Archangel is missing and presumed dead. There's that one, and there's lots of dead mutants in Genosha. I'm thinking maybe the Hellfire Club. They could come and get what's his face.
Could they have resurrected Gambit? Is a return of Gambit possible in that kind of thing? Becomes a horseman.
That's what I'm thinking, because I think they did it in the comics. I think they made Gambit one of Apocalypse's horsemen, and I think we're gonna remember it, mon cher.
Well, there you go. But look, it is. I heard someone the other day saying, this is what they need to be into live action. We need this version of X-Men live action when they're doing the film. And I go, no way. I would not want to see this version live action. This series, the way it's written, the way it plays out, lives and breathes as an animated series. And
I have to agree, yes.
They should be inspired by this series, but certainly not be trying to replicate it.
Only my third gripe with this episode. I understand that nostalgia is king, and that's the whole reason why X-Men 97 is here. But those old costumes look like Bud.
You're really picking on Jean Grey.
I'm picking on Marvel Girl. Okay, Cyclops was not that bad. I didn't think Cable looked that bad. I like Wolverine's costume. I'm like, that's a great variation. But my gosh, that Wonder Marvel Girl costume, I just wanted to see Jean pick it up and just go, no, and just put back on her regular costume. And just,
There's a really lovely moment between her and Cable.
Oh, yes.
And she's dressed up like that. And I just go, and I do remember watching it going, kind of really, really doesn't help what you're trying to sell here in this scene with these giant gold pointy mask and
the called. 60s. He wants his mask back.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, let's talk about the awesome cameos we got though.
Let's see. We had Iron Man and Captain America.
Of course, we have Daredevil,
Cloak,
Dagger.
Wow.
Yes.
Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
Yep.
Which I really. Oh, and not Eddie Brock. Flash Thompson.
Flash Thompson. Yep.
That was fun. Who else?
Who else? Was it
Black Panther, but not not T'Challa. It was Chitaka.
Chitaka, yeah, because when they had that
me
meeting.
That's making me think that they have plans for this universe.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah.
Do you think that when you're saying plans for this universe, that all of a sudden we're going to get a Black Panther series, we may get a new Spider-Man series, we'll get a new, because I think this is, with the success of this, you could do that. You could make a 8-episode Black Panther series.
I would not be surprised to see some limited series, but I definitely think that I foresee 2 projects in the future. Number one, we'll have Spider-Man 98 or Spider-Man 99. I can't remember when Spider-Man went off the air. We'll have Spider-Man 98. Sure, I'll just call it that. Definitely going to have that. And then I think that at some point, either in this series or they'll do their own thing, we'll have Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, later on. Yeah. I don't know whether they'll touch Avengers yet until they do the next film.
I don't know. It's certainly get some people excited over it if they did, though.
Yeah. Because I don't think the excitement's there for, like, okay, everyone's going to go and see the next Avengers film, but I don't know if people are. I think you have to build up the hype again for that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're right. Maybe an animated series would help build up the hype. I'd like them to redo another Hulk series because that fits in that.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I
forgot about Mr. Fantastic.
So I was just going to mention that. yeah. Which I thought was a nice little touch. Yeah. Look, overall, what a gift they gave us with this first series. What a unexpected, joyous experience, you know? Yeah, I don't know what more to say except how long do we got to wait for season 2? I don't think it's going to be that long, though.
I would not be surprised if we see it before the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Be great. I'd be down for it. That's for sure.
Me too. Now, I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if we see it after the new year. I want it now. I'm Veruca Salt. I don't care how. I want it now.
They do have a lack of Marvel content this year.
They do.
So you have Agatha all along. Mind you, this is a side note. Kudos to the Marvel marketing team for coming out with all these different names for that show and trolling us for like 2.5 years. I love it.
Yes, that was perfect.
Perfect. Agatha all along, and that's it. They've moved Born Again, the Daredevil Born Again, to 2025. It comes early 2025. So you do have a hole in the schedule here.
Do we have more What If this season?
I don't think so. I don't think there's.
I didn't know if that
was there a third season announced?
Yeah, they've actually shown clips from the new episodes.
Okay, well maybe that'll come too then. That'll be great. But yeah, there you go. Oh, one more thing before we move along from Agatha all along. Here's a theory I want to throw out there, guys. I know it's not an appropriate show for it. I think every one of the, and actually I didn't think, I heard this and I agree 100%. Each one of those names of the show is actually the episode titles.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that actually all
hilarious.
Yeah, anyway.
But, all along.
If they don't rescore that with an orchestra it has to be the theme song for the show. It really does.
It has to. I want to rewatch WandaVision now.
Yeah, because it is absolutely brilliant. And so was this show.
Yes, and we got to talk about the future of the X-Men team because Forge is definitely putting together a new team.
Well, he's on a mission.
I see Sunspot and Jubilee on the team, obviously. Bishop. Oh, hey, Bishop, where have you been all season? Baby napper. Forge. I noticed Colossus on the board. I noticed Dust, who I think would be really, really cool to have. Who else was there? There were a couple of others that I was like, that would be interesting. A little mix of old characters and new characters. I could see Emma Frost.
Yes, Emma Frost.
That was a weird reveal that they're like, oh yes, Emma's alive and she's a diamond and now she's going her way for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
it'd be perfect time to bring her back.
Absolutely. And it's an interesting way for them to go because it's not like they've all ended up in ancient Egypt. We've got the juxtaposition of Jean and Scott being in the future and seeing their son. So
Yes.
looks like they'll get some quality time with Junior, I think. And yeah, I love them doing the Apocalypse storyline, though. That's, to me, I think that's a natural extension of where this went.
Yeah, I think we all knew that was coming. I think the biggest surprise this season is what didn't happen. And that was no Mystique. I was certain Mystique was masquerading as what's her face, the woman who let Magneto go. I was certain that they were going to reveal any minute now that was Mystique. Nope, not Mystique. Mystique sitting at home eating popcorn, like, can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah, checking her phone for any missed calls from her agent. Yeah, no.
What do you mean they wanted me on the show? No, I thought you had my new number.
I think what it has done, though, the X-Men series, it really smartly is, obviously X-Men as a franchise alone is expansive with the amount of characters they've got. But to dare to go, no, we are absolutely going all in on the Marvel-like universe, that, to me, is a very bold move. To be able to go, all these characters exist, and I'm telling you, we're going to tap into them again and again and again. You know what I found odd, though? They showed a lot of Daredevil as cameos, didn't they?
They did.
Daredevil showed up quite a little bit in those last few cameos. So I wonder what they're going to
troll if the Daredevil series is actually animated.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be kind of fun. I wouldn't even be mad.
No,
as long as Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are doing the voices, I'm fine with it.
Well, they're all in, mate. They're all in. We've got them all. We got Foggy. We got Karen. It's season 4 of Daredevil.
That's you realize I have never seen season 2 or 3.
What?
I need to watch those, don't I?
You do, man. You do. That's canon now. Did you ever watch a Luke Cage? Did you watch you know what was really good? Jessica Jones.
I did watch Jessica Jones, and it was
best
good.
villain ever on the TV.
Yes.
Best villain ever.
Although every time he said timey-wimey, it kind of took me out of it.
Hey, but she came out recently with an image at a red carpet with purple hair. Why would you do that? Why was there a photo of Hale Berry coming out recently too with silver hair? The short silver hair. Lots of things happening in the Marvel universe, my friend.
Maybe they're just trolling us again.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's the way the MCU. Maybe this is the brilliance of their marketing, mate. They start trolling the audience to get us excited, pulling lefts and rights and things like that. But yeah. Anyway, we need to talk about the future of this show. What are we doing? We're going to take a couple of weeks off because there's very good reason why we're doing that. But
yes,
we're going to return in June, my friend. And what are we going to do?
Well, we discussed. Well, actually, we had somebody comment saying, are you going to go back to the original series and look at those episodes? And I thought, no, that's dumb. Get away from me. And then I rethought about it. And I thought, there might be something to that idea. I'm glad I thought of it. Mm-hmm. And so when we return in June, the XXL men will be looking at X-Men 96. No, X-Men 93. 93.
No, 93. We're going back, guys. We're going back.
We're going all the way back. I don't know what's going to happen, but I bet Morph is going to be like a really valuable member of the team.
Absolutely. You know what it is going to be.
Incidentally, Morph totally is in love with Wolverine.
Totally. I thought about that line, right? I thought about it. And he says, I can't say it, but she can.
Now he said she can't say it, but I can.
But I can. What he said. Sorry, yes. Which implies it's him saying it. Which is totally cool.
There is no implication. There is no implication there. I mean, come on. He was leering at him in the shower. He offered to scratch his back. Now he's saying that he loved him. You know what? Yeah, it's Wolverine. Who would?
You want to be bold?
If I was sitting there, I would be like, Wolverine, I love you. Don't die.
Yeah. You want to be really bold? Then that's it. Season 2 is they start a relationship. I would love to see it.
You know what? It's canon in the comics that Wolverine kind of goes both ways
Oh,
because
great. Good on him.
in the
Those
comics for a while,
Canadians are kinky.
oh, I know. In the comics, him, Scott, and Jean are a throuple.
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
messy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's messy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's
Look, I have
working out
so
well
many
for him.
questions. I have so many questions that I cannot ask on this show.
That's best left up to your imagination.
Imagination, absolutely. So we'll be back. We're taking a couple of weeks off. There's a very good reason for that. If you watch us over the Captain's Quadrant, we've got some epic things coming up. However, guys,
this is going to hit the internet before then, so we can just go ahead and tell them because I bet you they'd love to hear. We are going to be at Trek Long Island, and not just on separate screens. We are going to be together, twice the Jason, twice the body odor. We're going to meet, we're going to greet, we're going to have fun, and that other guy, Joe, what's his face? He'll be there.
Yeah. I don't know, some guy who organized everything.
Captain Joe Dove will be there. So if you're a fan of the Captain's Quadrant, come and see us at Trek Long Island. It's going to be the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd. I'm only going to be there the 1st and the 2nd. So if you only want to show up on those 2 days, I completely understand. Come on the 31st anyway. But we got all kinds of cool things happening. We are going to be doing a live Agony booth about the Next Generation episode Conspiracy, and we're going to be joined by one of the guest stars of that episode, the lovely Ursula Bryant, is going to be with us. And on Saturday, the big one, myself, himself, and Joe Self will be on stage talking to Trek legend Ethan Phillips.
We
love Neelix, we protect Neelix, and we will die for Neelix.
But not just Neelix. We're not just talking with Neelix, because we're talking. Remember, Ethan didn't first appear as Neelix.
No,
did he?
No, he was a Ferengi, wasn't he?
He was in that episode where they kidnapped little Oksana Troy.
Was remember that episode? Oh my gosh, I gotta rewatch Menage a Trois.
Yeah, Menage a Trois, and that's my first question to Ethan.
Which is another way to refer to Scott, Logan, and Jean.
Yeah, and you know what? I've just thought of this, but it's a bit of behind the scenes. We are doing a special one-off Agony booth before we do the live one, and my vote is we do Menage a Trois.
Ooh, Menage a Trois.
Well, it leads into it, so there you go. We've got some exciting stuff. I can't wait to meet these guys in person. It's going to be really exciting. New York, we're going to have a blast. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be awesome. And guys, before we leave here, thanks for hanging around. This is a long episode. I really recommend, because we're going back and watching the season, that you guys do too. And the reason why I say this is, if you've learned anything from season 1, Jason, is having prior knowledge from the older series really helps with the depths and complexities. Yes. So that's another reason why you're going to have to watch us every week and join along and watch the episodes as we watch them.
Yes, I remember I watched a couple of episodes of the original series just to see what the heck Nimrod was, and oh, cool, I get Bastian now.
Exactly.
I just thought Nimrod was something you called somebody who is dumb, but no,
yeah.
It was like
I thought it was an 80s insult.
It was like a super duper sentinel that looked like a big golem.
Yeah, big golem. Anyway.
Not that golem. The Hebrew golem.
All right, guys, we're having way too much fun here. We better get out of here. Thanks for watching for the first season of X-Men 97. We'll return in June. And wow, what a delight. What a fun series. Anything last thing to say? No?
Morph and Logan. Would it be Low Morph or more Logan? Mogan. There we go.
We got Mogan.
Moverine.
There's our Captain Joe Dub bothering me at the moment.
I heard you're talking about me. Did you plug Trek Long Island yet?
We plugged it, Joe. We plugged it. All right. We better go, guys. We'll catch you very soon back on XXL Man. I so want to see. Am I sick boy that I would love to see a night between Morph and Wolverine? Oh.